movies are once again the topic of discussion. Recently, director Steven Spielberg came out and said that he believes that superhero movies are going to go the way of the Western. We were around when the Western died, and there will be a time when the superhero movie goes the way of the Western. I can see what Steven Spielberg is saying, that every genre or fad has its moment. It comes and it goes, and that's true for any fad, be it a style of books, genre of TV show, movies, whatever. But like I said in a previous video, I genuinely don't see these movies as just superhero movies. These are solid films on their own merit without being superhero movies. Winter Soldier was a political thriller. Guardians of the Galaxy is a sci-fi western movie. With that, I don't think superhero movies going the way of the Western would be a bad thing, even though I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, because the majority of these movies involving superheroes, because I don't want to call them superhero movies, I think they're definitely more than that, but these movies are so much more than that, and they're so strong, and they tell such great stories with great characters and great production, that I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But eventually, sure, these movies are, these styles of movies, these comic book based movies, let's call them that, let's call them comic book based movies, these superheroic comic book based movies are going to become less popular. I mean, not with me, because it's my damn lifeblood, but with the majority of the people, they're going to become less popular at some point and go the way of the Western. But at the same time, would that be such a bad thing? Yes, Westerns are not nearly as popular as they are today as when John Wayne was in them. But if you think about it, Westerns are still a pretty popular cinema genre. Just in the last couple years, we had True Grit came out, and that was a great film. A little before that was 3:10 to Yuma. We had the show Deadwood, which was very popular, and they're even doing a Deadwood movie. They're working on it now, and those are just the plain westerns. You've also got to consider, you have Firefly, you have Guardians of the Galaxy, you have Cowboy Bebop, you have all of these different shows and movies that they are definitely sci-fi westerns, but they still have all or most of those elements that made the old western movies great and fit into that style and genre of being a western. So even though westerns may not be the end-all be-all that they were when John Wayne was in these movies, they're still a very popular genre today in films and movies and cartoons. But by saying that they're going to go the way of the westerns, I mean, they may lose their ultimate popularity of walking into a hot topic and just be barraged with, you know, Marvel and DC stuff, or walking in any store and having that happen, or having most of the t-shirts in Target be Marvel and DC t-shirts. It may lose that forefront of popularity, but westerns are still a very popular and still very well liked genre and style of story. I'm not the only one who had something to say about Spielberg's comment. The director of Man of Steel and the upcoming Batman vs. Superman, Zack Snyder, also had something to say about it. He might not be wrong. To me, the one thing I love working in the DC universe is that Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman are American mythology. It's not about making a superhero, it's a mythological universe that we live in. Basically what Zack Snyder is saying, that he believes that even if these styles of movies go the way of the Western and become less popular, he believes that DC and Warner Brothers properties, Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman, etc., will last that downfall. Zach, did you see the last Man of Steel movie? I know you directed it, but did you watch it? Wasn't that good? If Superman and Wonder Woman are American mythology and going to last the test of time, then why is it that we haven't had a really great Superman movie since Superman 2 with Christopher Reeves? Or why is it that we've never, as far as I know, never had a Wonder Woman movie, a feature-length, feature-film, live-action Wonder Woman movie? This is the first time, as far as I know, that there is a Wonder Woman is coming to the big screen. So plenty of American classics have come and gone on the screen and TV multiple times, but we haven't had a good Superman movie since Superman 2. Man of Steel was okay. Superman Returns was less than okay. Hopefully, Batman vs. Superman will be great. I want that movie to be great. But to sit here and say that DC's properties are American mythology and they're going to stand the test of time, you can have all the American classic mythology you want, but if it is not a good movie or a good TV show, it's not going to last. Spider-Man and Wolverine are two hugely popular characters. They were the two characters that basically ushered in this golden age of superhero movies with Spider-Man and X-Men. They were the big ones. They were the big ones in Marvel Comics. They became the big ones in movies for a time. So why is it that X-Men Origins Wolverine is a movie that no one wants to remember actually happening? The same thing can be said for Spider-Man 3. Both of these movies about these classic characters that can stand the test of time are not good movies. Yes, Batman and Superman and even Wonder Woman are classic characters that were created in America, and they are absolutely American classics in literature. Yes, comic books are absolutely considered literature, and those characters will absolutely stand the test of time. But the movies that DC has put out, and the only one they've put out so far was helmed by Zack Snyder, have not been good as far as I'm concerned. Now, if you've watched my other videos, you know I kind of have a bias against DC Entertainment. I've definitely, absolutely not enjoyed 90% of what they've put out. The only thing that I genuinely enjoyed was maybe the first 2 seasons of Arrow and Constantine. But I feel their properties, their movies, their TV shows have gone so downhill that Batman vs. Superman, a movie I should be over the moon for, I'm dreading watching because I'm just expecting it to suck. Even the Suicide Squad trailer, it looks terrible. And I'm genuinely trying to not judge it before I see it, because there are so many instances where the trailer doesn't even scratch the surface of the movie, and you see the trailer and you think it looks terrible, and then you go see the movie and it's one of the best movies you've ever seen, and vice versa. There are times when the trailer is so amazing and then you go see the movie and it sucks. Absolutely, these styles of these graphic novel movies are definitely not going to last forever. I wish to God they would. I would love to be watching Phase 58 when I'm in my 70s of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That would just be the best thing ever, but I doubt that will happen. Superheroes are going to become less popular. That's just the way of the world. So many things were popular in my day and when I was a little kid that just are not popular now. And there are so many things that were popular when I was a kid that are becoming retro and becoming more popular now. Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Not Transformers, because those movies were pretty bad. But you get my point. I don't want to say that, the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies and properties are just a fad, but they are. I mean, they're definitely more than that, but there is definitely a fad around them. And that's going to phase out. But even so, even if they go the way of the Western, Westerns never stopped being good. There are movies that are Westerns that are bad, but one of my favorite movies as a kid that came out, I want to say in the late 80s or 90s, I don't know the exact date, Silverado, with Kevin Kline and Danny Glover, and Kevin Costner. All 3 of these actors who, are still popular actors today. This movie came out definitely past the point of Westerns being phased out. And it was one of my favorite movies. I could probably watch it today and it would still be one of my favorite movies. I haven't seen it in a really long time. I should watch that again. It was a good movie. But even with Westerns losing their popularity, they never stopped being popular. They're still popular today, and they're reinvigorated with sci-fi or fantasy genre Westerns. Just recently, in the YouTube nerd geek community, Will Wheaton did his tabletop show for a D&D, for a RPG game with a few others, and the story and world they told was very much a sci-fi fantasy western. So westerns never stopped being popular. I don't think that even if they lose their initial popularity, that these comic book movies will definitely still be popular, and people will definitely still go see them, and people will definitely still love them. I see your points, Steven. I absolutely see what you're trying to say. I just don't entirely agree with you, and I don't think that even if they were to go the way of the Western, they would still be less popular. Zack Snyder, I think you're an amazing director. I don't think you are the right director for a Superman movie. I've always thought you'd be a great director for a Batman movie, and that's what I'm hoping to see in Batman vs. Superman, that you'll really play to your strengths for Batman in Batman vs. Superman. But I don't think, unless you hit it out of the park and DC Entertainment starts putting out some really good stuff that's not Batman Arkham, the Batman Arkham series, because that's really the only, that's one of your only saving graces, DC Entertainment, is the Batman Arkham series. But hopefully if you knock it out of the park, and the rest of the movies that come out are amazing. I don't think DC Entertainment's comic book movies are going to stand the test of time. What are your thoughts on Steven Spielberg and Zack Snyder's comment about these graphic novel movies? I still don't want to call them superhero movies because I think they are definitely more than just superhero movies. They definitely fit into so many other genres. But what do you think? Tell me what you think in the comments. Follow me on all the internets. Like the video if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, go ahead and give it a dislike. Share the video around so others can get their opinions in, and we can start a conversation about this possibility of graphic novel movies going the way of the Western. Let me know in the comments, follow me on all the internets, subscribe to my channel so we can geek out some more. Thanks for watching, and have fun. So Captain America, Thor, Hulk.